Let's get the facts out there and make sure we're not unnecessarily scaring people while simultaneously letting them know what they can do to prevent an outbreak. That's the reason why, folks. I like to take these stories easy, and unlike Democrats, it's really unnecessary and really immoral to use them to score political points. All right, so folks, before we get to this stuff, this coronavirus scare, the Democrats will politicize anything. I think we know that if you're a regular listener to the show. They politicized our intelligence apparatus. They use politics to attack their political opponents all the time. It's been quite disgraceful, though, and I think a new low for the Democrats, using this potentially, deadly virus for some to score political points. So in case you doubt me and you think I'm just pulling this out of my caboose to kind of make stuff up to attack them, I want to show you this tweet by the Washington Post. This is real, by the way. I'm not messing with this. This is an actual tweet. So by the Washington Post, opinion: coronavirus makes the case for Medicare for all. Now, I have warned you, I have warned you early and often that the Rahm Emanuel line, President Obama's former chief of staff, and Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel, that old line, never let a crisis go to waste, they are not kidding. Now, we have to debunk some of their nonsense because they're not interested in solving this problem. If it becomes a pandemic, God forbid, in the United States, sadly, many of them are not interested in helping. They're interested in using it to attack Donald Trump and to knock down his political capital. It's a shame, folks. It's actually quite disgraceful. I want you to watch this video and pay close attention here. This is Nancy Pelosi. And in the video, she tries to make a point about Donald Trump and the Republican Senate and Republicans out there in general, their proposals for a spending bill to combat the coronavirus, COVID-19. But she counteracts and contradicts, her own point while making it. Listen to this cut and see if you can pick up where she goes wrong. Check this out.
Right over here, folks. Thank you. Under the ropes, please.
Have a proposal. The Senate has a proposal. We'll have something similar, which addresses the need for the professionals to be in place. The president let go a couple of years ago, never replaced them. This is shameful. Puts forth a proposal now that is meager, anemic in terms of addressing as well. With Ebola, we did $5 billion. Now they're trying to take the Ebola money and spend it here.
Did you catch it? Did you see what she did there? So Pelosi, again, who doesn't seem interested in solving this problem. Now, granted, I'm not trying to undersell or oversell to you the potential danger from this virus. I rely on scientists and doctors to tell me what the fatality rate is and what the threat is, and I trust their judgment on that. That's fine. The problem I have with this silly attack Pelosi just engaged in is she said something here. She goes, well, of course, Donald Trump's proposed $2 billion isn't enough. We should handle it like we handled Ebola. And then she says, and then look, he's trying to spend the leftover Ebola money on Corona. Did you catch it, Joe? So let me get this straight.
Yeah, I did catch that.
So she's saying on one hand that Donald Trump, she's basically saying he's so horrible. He's not spending enough money to combat the coronavirus. We should handle it like we spent this amount on Ebola. And then she's saying, but we didn't even spend that Ebola money. So you can't make, do you understand how that point makes no sense? Folks, this is typical Democrat nonsense where they step on their own message and they don't even realize it. But you have to be savvy enough, and I hope this show is helping, to pick through the nonsense and the weeds. So what is it, Nancy? Did we overspend on Ebola and therefore there's money left over we can use towards the coronavirus threat? Or should we spend more money than we spent on Ebola that we didn't spend? Again, they step on their own message all the time. It's shameful. I was on last night on Fox debating Richard Goodstein on Laura Ingram's show. Many of you saw it. And folks, this is really gross. They have, on this coronavirus, we have had CNN complaining about, remember the tweet? We put it on the show last week, complaining about the too many white males and the racial makeup of the people Trump has appointed to the task force. Remember that one? Remember that doozy?
Yeah,
so CNN's concerned about the diversity on the task force, not if scientists and people who know what's going on are on that task force. That was number one. Then they called Trump's travel ban from countries having coronavirus outbreaks to the United States. They called that racist, despite the fact that it appears now that that very policy is the one that may have prevented a more significant outbreak here. And then now we have them complaining about, as we saw, the money and comparing it to Ebola, despite the fact that the Ebola spending wasn't even spent, showing you they are complete frauds. I want to get to that. I haven't been ignoring this story. I've gotten a lot of emails from you all, received a lot of emails. It's a sensitive topic, and you always want to balance that. Let's get the facts out there and make sure we're not unnecessarily scaring people while simultaneously letting them know what they can do to prevent an outbreak. That's the reason why, folks. I like to take these stories easy, and unlike Democrats, it's really unnecessary and really immoral to use them to score political points. People could die from this, so it's very serious.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud, and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.